And this is Tabletopbattle signing in from the Norwegian Masters, where we have set up Svein. We have 2 demo tables, one for bolt action, which I'm taking care of because I'm here on official business, wearing my t-shirt and all. And Svein is demoing Frostgrave. But we're also showing you off the gates of Antares. Move your fat head the other way, thank you. Also showing off the gates of Antares, starter set, painted models by Anders, and Bormites, and just to see what's available. Just finished unpacking, getting ready for the first break for the gamers. Let's pan around here, see what we got. We got Fantasy. I know we got Kings of War here somewhere. Down here we got 40k. We have X-Wing, Infinity, Warmachine Hordes, which is the largest crowd. I think that just about covers it. We'll be walking around just taking some pictures of everything, just to show you what we got. This is the second largest tournament, I think, in Norway when it comes to the number of players. Biggest one is Invasion, which is in Kristiansand. It's usually in September, which can sport, I think last year we were looking at over 220 participants in 4 systems and Magic the Gathering. But this is all miniatures, so it might actually trump Invasion in the number of players. Anyway, Frostgrave, set up 2 warbands, brought some of my unpainted, newly bought, I got them for Christmas from my wife, Frostgrave miniatures, just to show that you can use whatever you want, but the official miniatures are on the table, as well as terrain from Andy Bryant and Caliber Books. And some of Svein's leftover Dungeons & Dragons stuff from his olden glory days, when his stomach was at least 5 inches smaller. Bolt action, showing off Warlord pamphlets, rulebooks, some of the American tanks that I have, a box just to show what the generic stuff looks like. 2 armies, 500 points, I'm guessing, roughly for the Germans, and a Coca-Cola for the Americans, which also include a Sherman, which I painted. Cool. And a couple infantry units. What is that lone thing? Is that a sniper?
That's a sniper.
Cool.
HQ. So the Germans got an armored car instead of a sniper.
Armored car instead of a sniper.
But both German vehicles can be
pinned because they're both open top. So hopefully we'll get some action, and we'll be back.
Action.
Hopefully we'll be back later and showing you some more stuff. Thanks. So we're back and we're started. First break is up. Svein's holding a demo for bolt action. Had a few questions for both that and Frostgrave. So official numbers, the Warlord is the biggest tournament, sporting, as far as I counted, 33 tables. 40k coming in at number 2 with right above 20, and after that we're looking at, I think, X-Wing with 8 tables, but that's double, so that'll be 16. And then we have just about 8 tables for Flames of War, Infinity, 40k, Kings of War. And you can pull your numbers from that. Lots of very, very nicely painted models. I had a chat with some of the people I know, some people I don't know, who see my Warlord t-shirt and ask me, "Oh, Warlord Games." So it's apparent that we know, or they know, about Warlord. And most of the guys are talking about gates and bolt action. Had a couple of questions about Shelton Pike and Hail Caesar. So trying to get people to come up to the stand, just take a look and talk. And what we do, since all we do is cool stuff, which some of this stuff ain't, but I'm not going to tell you which, because my preferences are my own. So that's it for that. We'll be back with more demos, hopefully. And this is making me dizzy, so I'm going to stop. Oh, let's zoom in at Ugly Muggy over here. You can see it into this. And we're back with one particular 40K game. Reason why I chose this table is because we have one of my bestest friends at this table. His name is Christopher. This is the National Cheese Master. I've been calling him that for roughly 12 years. He's the winner of the Norwegian Masters for 2 years in a row. And his opponent today, what's your name, good sir?
Charles.
Charles is his name. And how are you faring against Mr. Cheesemaster?
I'm losing by 1 point.
By 1 point? That is impressive. Most people find themselves at the short end of the stick. That is pretty damn close.
Well, he's going to beat me severely because I've got 1 unit left.
Alright.
But it's tough and I don't think he's going to shift it, but I can't get any more points, so that's
Alright, so he's going to remove you from the table.
No, he won't be able to do that.
Alright.
I'm sitting now at 2+ cover saves and 5+ feel no pain and 3+ armor saves.
That is a good deal in 40k. We don't have saves in bolt action. Or the other, well, some of the other games. Christopher, why Tau and Eldar? Is that the new cheese thing?
No, I just find them fun to play.
You just find them fun. So yeah, I'm being slightly unfair when I call him a cheese master. He does have a tendency to go for the newest armies with the biggest bang and combos and stuff, but he is a fair player. He's been that forever.
Space Marines,
and here we have Andreas.
Hey, it's Damon.
It's Andreas. What are you filming, dude?
What?
Why are you filming?
I'm filming for the YouTube channel Spillforeningen The Fellowship.
And I'm filming for Tabletopbattle.com.
All right.
Cool.
So we'll plug each other.
Yeah. What do you think about the event?
I think it's great. Seems to be about 150, 60, 70 people.
No, so I wasn't that far off. I was guessing 180.
Oh, yeah.
Biggest system by far, Warmachine.
Yeah, biggest. But we're having fun playing Lord of the Rings myself. You're playing 40k?
No, I'm not playing at all. I'm working.
not playing
I'm
at all?
working. T-shirt, dude. Official business.
For all the games.
Yes.
So nice to meet you again.
Nice to meet you.
And let's continue my roving reporter skills.
Let's go about.
Yeah.
And we're back with Christopher again. But yeah, I think I can proudly say that I am one of the few people who's actually beaten the guy. It happened, I think it's happened twice. So he's pretty damn good at what he does. And that's it for the 40k tables. So now we're over at the X-Wing table. This is 2 players that won both their games. And the 2 players closest to taking my title away from me, since I was last year's winner. One side we have 2 K-Wings and Poe Dameron. Here we have an Imperial Shuttle, a TIE Bomber.
Advanced.
TIE Advanced and Darth Vader. And the last guy is Sunterfell. So 2 fairly small teams. So this is going to be all about the boom and maneuvering on this one. This gentleman that you see in the camera at the moment will hopefully be making an appearance with the bolt action quite frequently in the coming year, as he lives quite close and he's also heavily into bolt action. Not sure about our venture into X-Wing though. I think we'll stay away from that for the time being. I've counted the tables and I was slightly off. We are at 20 participants over 10 tables. Yeah, that's how we roll in Norway. Hard ass. You see, he's got the beard. He could be in Game of Thrones.
I am.
So yeah, this is X-Wing, and we'll be moving on to another system to show you more stuff. And we are moving on to Lord of the Rings Hobbit, where we are looking at 5 tables or 11 players, including the guy running the show. He's playing stand-in. They are at round 2. I love Lord of the Rings, but I never got around to playing the game, as my time has been spent doing, well, every other game on the planet. This guy you'll remember because we have already had him on camera, Andreas. And how are things going, gentlemen?
We just started the game.
Yeah.
So it's the high ground scenario. So this fine piece of paper substituting the very
hill.
difficult to move on hill.
Yep.
So the objective is to have as many miniatures on the objective. This paper.
I'd say you're currently holding it.
I am holding it, but we have a very fast force of Rohan
And we
with
see-
Saruman.
And we've seen what happens when Rohan charges.
It can be devastating, but I have some very, very cool
Tricks up his sleeve.
tricks
Up your sleeve. One thing you
ghosts.
should know about this guy is he's one of the legends in the gaming community in Norway. He used to work for Games Workshop, where he built his reputation.
He's the Viking.
He's the Viking. He is a Norwegian pro wrestler-ish. Was
retired pro wrestler.
retired pro wrestler. He is into LARPing, or was. Have you quit that?
Yeah.
He once killed my arm by stepping on me after he killed me, but he don't remember that. But yeah, this is one of the legends in Norway. Remember the face and come over for the next Norwegian Masters next year. And going to the most numerous tournament, we have Hordes, or Warmachine and Hordes, two systems that then can be played together. Steampunk. We're looking at, well, I wasn't off when I told you. I think it's 66 players in total. We're going to be looking at this table in particular, and the reason why we end up here is
I don't really know unless it's like this.
is because of this man. His name is Kuba. It's actually not his name, but what we call him. He is a Norwegian immigrant, or a Polish immigrant. He's Polish, moved to Norway, and he loves being here because he keeps winning games. He won last year, and as you can see, as a couple other guys, he's sporting the beard, so another Game of Thrones lookalike. Playing his now Trollbloods versus Circle Orboros. So who's winning at the moment, guys?
David, yes.
David. So who's winning?
Not me.
Not you. Is that
He's gonna charge him.
so? Is that a general consensus, or is it because you're playing Cuba that you're not winning?
He's doing good.
Oh, okay, good. Take it from champ.
Should be right.
So yeah, this is a very, very large crowd of Warmachine Hordes players. We're just going to cut right now, and I'm going to take you to a guy that I really want you to meet, responsible for, well, actually all of this happening, the Warmachine Horde stuff, because this was a game that was non-existent up until 3-4 years ago in Norway, and then one guy came along and changed it, so we're going to take a small break, and we'll be back with him. And as I promised you, I wanted you to meet a guy who's responsible for making Warmachine what it is. I think it's 5 years ago now, Endre?
5 or 6 years, I think. We started back in 2010.
Yeah.
And we were two guys then.
It was
and
you
then we
and
picked up,
you and Leif?
Leif.
Yeah.
So we picked up a couple of guys here and there, you guys down in Moss,
Yeah.
some people in Oslo, and we grew steadily.
Yeah.
In two or 3 years, we had tournaments with about 30 or 40 people, perhaps.
Yep.
And we're now up to 60.
Yeah, exploded due to someone cancelling fantasy.
Yes, we got a fairly substantial part of the old fantasy players there.
Yeah.
And it also built Kings of War scene from nothing.
Yeah. Now we're looking at, let's see, that roughly 5 or 6 players, the first tournament we had, if I don't remember incorrectly.
The first tournaments were 6 players.
Yeah, and now we're looking at
53 right
53.
there now. We had
10 of them are Swedes.
And 10 of them are Swedes, yes.
Yeah.
The Warmachine Hordes scene in Europe tends to travel a lot.
Yeah.
So the Swedes come here and we go to Sweden, we go to other
We went
events.
to the ETC in Mansfield twice.
The Maelstrom twice.
When
good
Maelstrom
one
did them, yeah. So you happy with what you've done?
Yeah, this is beyond what I expected.
Yeah. Cool, isn't it?
But in general, it looks like the entire miniature scene is growing.
Yeah, I mean, when we started the National Master or Norwegian Masters, it was I think there were 3 systems, and we weren't even 100, were we?
We were 110, I think.
On the first one? Were we that many?
Because there was 20 for the players, 70.
Fantasy was the biggest then, wasn't
Fantasy was 60 or 70, so it's 120.
All right, now we're at 170.
170 something.
Yeah, and
we went from 3 systems to 7 systems.
yeah, and This is also then missing the system that we're working for today, hopefully next year, bolt action. But as you can see, it just takes a little bit of work, a little bit of effort and heart, and you can make something grow fairly big in a very short time.
Stay positive and try to play at local stores
Yeah.
and public places so people can see what's happening. Recruitment is essential. One of the problems with miniatures gaming in general, I think, is that we are a relatively old scene. Many people in all these systems tend to be in their 30s.
Yep.
So we need to recruit the kids
Yep.
before the computer games get them.
Or we need to produce our own and get them to play.
This is also possible. That's way slower though.
It takes a little bit more time. All right, thank you very much, Endre. This was Warmachine. And we're moving on to Age of Sigmar, which has I completely lost track of it, didn't know they were here. 5 tables, so looking at 10 players in total. Really, I can't brag that I've played it a lot. I've read the rules. I know the rules, but I haven't gotten around to playing it, mainly because we're busy with everything else. Currently, we have a battle between the Tomb Kings, I would imagine, and the awesomest models Games Workshop have ever made, except for the Blood Angels, the Sigmarines.
Stormcast Eternals.
Stormcast Eternals.
I will just pile in.
So, you guys okay with me asking questions while we play?
No worries.
How do you find Age of Sigmar as a game compared to Fantasy, since Games Workshop decided to 86 that?
It's a completely new game. You can't compare them.
Okay.
You have to go in it with a mindset that this is a totally new game, just the same old models.
All right. Would you say that this is an much easier game to learn compared to, say, Fantasy?
Oh yes.
To learn, learn basic stuff, it's takes maybe half an hour.
The level entry is very easy. There's actually a lot of new person who never got involved in the wargaming environment who came to Age of Sigmar because it's actually so open to new players.
Yeah, easy to get into, and the matches don't take necessarily as long as a regular.
It depends on how many points, of course, or how many models, since it's not a point system.
Because this, the system that you're playing now, obviously you're playing Age of Sigmar, but this is made for a tournament scene, the system.
Yeah.
So there's rules and regulations that aren't in the rule book.
Yeah.
The
rules are all the same, but the balance of the armies.
So basically, tournament composition, as we call it, has been made to make it into a tournament game. Until Games Workshop might decide to do something about it. And
again.
Maybe they'll do something.
Well,
I think people are asking for some tournament rules or some kind of
point
system at least, because it's true that a lot of old players are lost. Because
they're over there at Warmachine tables.
Warmachine or Kings of War.
So like in old games it was some balance, like core units. Now you don't need core units, so no point bringing a lot of models. You just buy the best models and you play them.
The magic is you can pick up games much easier, it's much quicker, but the rule set is also so simple that it's very easy to modify to make it your own.
Roll off for who's stuck.
Sorry, yes.
Battleship test. How long would a regular-sized game take? Say if you play with the tournament rules that we have here, how long?
2 hours max.
2 hours max?
That's max.
All right, then you're pushing the limit and you have a lot of models.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you very much, gentlemen.
No worries.
This was Age of Sigmar.
So you killed 3.
And this is Flames of War. You can do it. There you go. That'll be Rune. We have a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 tables of Flames of War, 12 players. First time they take part, or Flames of War take part of the Norwegian Masters. I was supposed to be the guy handling things, but I decided to work instead. And the guy who took over from me fell sick, so they now have another stand-in. We'll talk to him later. But we're going to focus on this table because he claims he's a geek and doesn't want to be on camera, but he will be eventually, because this is one of Anders' friends and mine. Well, he's one of us. He'll be on camera eventually playing something. Not quite sure what yet. But there's one guy I want to introduce you to, and that's Rune. He you will definitely see on camera because he's coming down as soon as he finishes to play or paint up his bolt action stuff. But the real reason why I wanted you to meet him is he runs a web shop. It's called Midkiff.no or com. .no, yeah. So for you guys living in Norway, Sweden, Denmark, Finland, this is the guide to go to. Wide range of bolt action, historical gaming, Flames of War. Any science fiction stuff yet?
Yes, Warmachine Hordes.
Warmachine Hordes.
Yes, X-Wing.
X-Wings. And he's also picking up Gates of Antares real soon.
Yeah.
See what I did there? now you have to do it.
Yes.
So how are you finding national championship compared to the regular tournaments? Pretty much the same, just different place?
Yeah. I think, at least for Flames of War, I think it's not as competitive, I think, as some of the other games. So for us, it's no difference.
This isn't 40k or Warmachine Hordes. It's well, it also has to do with age, I think.
Yes.
If you look at the average age around the tables, this is by far the oldest group of people.
Yeah.
Mainly thanks to Rune, because he's ancient.
Because I'm very old.
You're very old. Playing late war, 1900 points. I know this because I made the rules that we're using. Since I was going to be the guy organizing, but nope. Moving slowly towards the guy I want you to meet when it comes to Flames of War is Kenneth, who's going to be on camera. He's slightly camera shy. This guy is responsible for bringing Flames of War back to Norway. I played it roughly 9 years ago when I lived in a town called Drammen, but it died out completely. Until Kenneth found out that fantasy sucks. 40k doesn't want to play, so he needed something else. And he has a disease called crack addiction, or plastic addiction and resin addiction. So Flames of War it is. So he's brought the game back, and now, how many players did we have in Invasion, Kenneth? How many players did we have at Invasion? 14. That's the biggest one so far, isn't it? Yeah. So slowly working its way back. And hopefully this is the crowd that will also fetch to bolt action and all the other stuff that we're doing, basically, because this is the crew that we know the most due to the World War II connection. So yeah, that was Flames of War. The place where all the magic happens, obviously it's the tables, but this is where you find the organizers and computers that, well, decide who gets to play. And I want you to meet the man, the legend, the god. His name is Frederick.
Hey.
He is the organizer of the Norwegian Masters this year and last year, and the reason why we actually can do this. I've gotten a few different numbers from a few different people, so you're going to clarify a few things.
Yeah.
First Norwegian Masters, how many were we?
120 people, I think we were.
And today?
We are 180.
Roughly?
Yeah, 180.
When we started, we had 3 systems. Today we have
8 systems.
8 systems.
So yeah.
And the fun fact: how many fantasy players were there the first time?
I think there were 82 fantasy players.
Yeah. And how many now?
0.
And how many Sigmar players?
8 people.
8?
Yeah.
So
it's a bit of a reduction.
Yeah, Games Workshop shot themselves in the foot on that one.
Yeah.
But hopefully Age of Sigmar or something else that they come up with will fix the problem.
Yeah, maybe. Or Kings of War.
Or Kings of War, which we'll be looking at, well, later. Depends on how Svein cuts this, or before. That's up to him. But how do you feel it's going?
It's going fine. A bit of a hiccup in the start. One organizer who pulled out in the last minute. But otherwise, it's good.
Warmachine the biggest one by far, or how many does 40k have?
40k I think is 42.
All right, and there's 50 something at Warmachine?
Yeah, about 50 something.
Yeah. The reason Warmachine is so big is because a lot of the people that dropped out from Fantasy obviously went to Warmer Hordes, some went to Kings of War, some play Sigmar, and I know there's a few people not playing anything because they're waiting on something else, which is where we hope to catch them with bolt action.
Exactly.
But if you want to make an argument for people not in Norway, I mean, I know we have Swedes here. If you want to recruit people from outside of Norway to come here next year, what do you want to say that's what do we have? We have Frederick, of course.
We have beer.
We have beer.
And that's a luxury in Scandinavia. It's so rare for tournaments in Norway or Sweden to have beer because it's so strict. Yeah. So I know each time I go to Sweden or anything, it's like absolutely forbidden to drink. But we have a license to sell, so we have beer, that's one. And we have a huge hall.
Yeah,
that's 2.
This is Ekeberghallen.
Yeah, it's
a big sports center.
Big sports hall. So we have almost indefinite room. We have room for everyone.
Yeah.
And thirdly, the floor is quite soft here. It's a bit rubbery.
Yeah, I mean,
so it's very nice to stand on.
It is a sports floor, so your feet won't hurt when you're done.
Your knees will thank you.
Yeah. And the fourth thing that I want to add is, as you've seen, there's a lot of Scandinavians here, and for some reason, half of the people here, including some girls, sport beards. So when you come here, bring your Game of Thrones kit and gear and LARP gear, and you'll fit right in.
Oh yeah.
All right, so this was Fredrik, the organizer of Norwegian Masters 2016. Say bye, Fredrik.
Bye-bye.
So we're moving on to Kings of War, which has become the substitute for most of the fantasy players that still stuck around after Games Workshop decided to not continue with, that'll be 9th edition I think, they would have moved on to. So here we have the organizer, Vidar. Say hi, Vidar.
Hi.
Good, you didn't say hi, Vidar. The other guys weren't so good at this. So how many players are we looking at for Kings of War this year?
Currently 16 players.
16 players, which is pretty much down from 80 or 82 fantasy players the first year.
Yeah, and from last year in Kings of War, it's up 16 players.
It's up 16, yeah, and this is only due to Games Workshop quitting or not supporting Warhammer Fantasy anymore.
Yeah, I would say that yes, Age of Sigmar is the reason I heard about Kings of War.
Yeah.
And therefore I'm quite happy to have the release of Age of Sigmar actually.
Yeah.
Because I got my attention to Kings of War.
How would you say Kings of War is as a game compared to fantasy? Is it are there similarities?
Yeah, of course there are flags.
Yep. Flank tanks, you have ranks.
And you can use the same models.
Yeah.
So it's an easy transition.
Yeah. Not Flames of War. Kings of War.
Yeah.
Kings of War is Mantic, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Has Mantic said anything about using unofficial Mantic models, or have they?
Yeah, you can use anything you want.
All right, so they're happy with that. They're just happy people are playing their game.
Yeah.
All right.
And I saw some people were afraid of that people would not buy Mantic models, but that's not the case.
No,
I think a lot of people are buying Mantic models.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, if you have the old fantasy miniatures, you can use them, but check out Mantic.com and you'll find plenty of very cool-looking fantasy models. I've checked them out myself.
Yes.
But you're happy with 16 people for the first year around?
Yeah, actually, but there was some people who didn't show up. So actually, a lot more people than 16 people have paid, but they didn't come for different reasons.
Yeah,
so
season to be sick.
Yeah, so I'm sure this will increase because it's very easy to learn a game.
Yeah.
And it's much more fun to play than any fantasy game I've played before.
Good.
So it's got good things going for it, I think.
Very good. All right, we're going to wish Vidar good luck with next year's hopeful tournaments, which he will be organizing again, if I'm not mistaken. And check out, as I said, Mantic.com for models and rules. And now they're setting up, you can't see what they're setting up, but they're setting up. The organizer of the Norwegian Masters, Fredrik, told you that he got bear, and they've just been out getting all the bear inside. So setting up the bar in the speaker's box, or not the bar, but the serving place. So that's one incentive for people to come join us. There's no time yet for the Norwegian Masters next year, and there's no plans for which system is going to come. But I will make an effort to get one Warlord Games game into Norwegian Masters somehow. Obviously, Norway is a small country, so it's difficult to grow a hobby that's not already well-footed in the country. So we're depending on you guys watching, coming along and helping us out for next year's Norwegian Masters. I'm hoping for bolt action, but if Gates of Antares or any of the other historical games is more popular, we're going to go with that just to draw our biggest crowd as possible. Svein's pulling off another demo. We have had a lot of questions for about bolt action and a lot of question about Frostgrave. Thought I'd just chime in with. We're naturally very fond of bolt action, Frostgrave, Gates, and we're fans of 40k too, since we're going to start that as soon as we can. It's been slightly delayed due to a lack of painting time. But what I love about this event is the fact that there are so many systems. There's 8 systems in total, and everyone just gets along fantastically. And the age range, I think the youngest guy here is 12 years old. We have a couple of girls, too few unfortunately, so we need to get something done about that. But there's top age, I think he was 58 or something. So there's a wide range of ages, games, and most of these guys also play the other systems that are here, including myself. Diversity is really good, and it's also a good key to getting more people into the hobby. If they already like a game, there's a good chance you can interest them into playing bolt action, which is tabletop battles. It's what we're all about, and naturally Frostgrave at the moment for the battle reps. So if you're missing players in your local environments, just find out if they're playing something else. Join them for a few games. Just talk about the stuff you love: bolt action, Frostgrave, Gates, Solentaries, and eventually they'll come along and try and play that. And if luck has it, they'll start playing it, and you can expand the miniature gaming horizon in your area. Infinity. The last tournament we're going to take a look at and talk to the organizer in a bit. Some beautiful tables. Love this stuff. Awesome terrain. Naturally cluttered as Infinity should be, just like our Frostgrave stuff. Very sci-fi futuristic. Just loving it. The tables look amazingly good. Some of the best gaming tables I've seen have been Infinity, with buildings, enormous buildings, several stories high, and looking just real good. I played Infinity 2-3 years ago, but I stopped because the rules, in my opinion, were extremely difficult to grasp. It was fun. But when compared to bolt action, 40k, and the other stuff I played at the time, it took so much longer with checking rules back and forth, so I decided to just stop that. But since then, Infinity has gotten a new edition and a rules rewrite, so we're going to talk to the organizer about that in a second. Alright, so this is the table where the Infinity Master is playing. That's what I call him. His name is Andreas. We have quite a few of those. He is another immigrant, though he's from Sweden, so we can't really call him immigrant. He's he's Andreas. This is pretty much just another thing I want to do to show a success story. Even though Infinity is just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 tables active in this tournament, it is an increase of none from last year. And Andreas made Infinity from only 2 people about 3 years ago up to the 10 people that are here, and I know there's at least 6 other players that plays Infinity, but currently we're at the Warmachine tables playing that. But Andreas, can I ask you a question?
Yes.
Infinity has a bad reputation for being fiddly and difficult rules. That's from back when I was playing. Has that changed with the new edition?
They have cleaned up the rules a lot.
All right.
And the rules are more logical, and better thought through, and they have FAQ'd most of the problems.
All right.
So but there's still a lot of rules.
All right.
It's not an easy game to just play as the third game, her third game system.
This has to be your primary to make sure that you know everything.
If you're interested in understanding the game really, then it needs to be your first game system.
How would you say the length of a game? How's that? How long is a regular size game?
I'm a slow player. I usually don't get done in 2 hours. I usually don't get done in 2 hours.
All right.
At tournaments, a regular game is often 1 hour 45 minutes.
Okay. How many people? There were 2 people when you started out.
Yeah.
It was you and Endre, who's in charge of Warmachine.
Yes.
How many active players do you know that you have now? Not only this tournament, but in grand total in Norway. That you know
grand total in Norway.
That you know of.
3, 6, 7, 8, 10 people maybe.
At least 10 because you got 10 here.
I got 9 plus me, so 10.
So 10.
Yeah.
And I know a couple of the
one's from Sweden.
Yeah, and I know a couple of the Warmachine players also play Infinity.
Maybe 14, 15 then.
So pretty much it's just a story of putting the interest out there and getting people interested, and they will come eventually.
Yeah. 3 of the players are from Bergen.
That's Bergen is outside of Norway, but in Norway.
I don't know how many are you that play in Bergen.
This is one of the guys from Bergen. Students, because you don't speak Bergenese.
I speak Bergenese.
So we're looking at it's a minor success story. It's not Warmachine big, but
not yet.
It's getting there. So you would absolutely tell people who tried it before and found it fiddly to try it again.
Yes.
All right.
It depends on your mindset. Do you want to play an advanced rule set with a lot of details? Then definitely try it again.
Yeah.
If you want a beer and pretzels game,
no.
Then
you play 40k in Warmachine.
Warmachine isn't a beer and pretzels game either. It's a lot of thinking involved there. So. Okay. I don't play it, so I don't know.
Where do you go to find the models and rules for this? It's Corvus Belli, isn't it?
Infinitythegame.com.
All right, which is made by Corvus Belli.
Yes.
Thank you very much, Andreas.